confidence begins with the voice inside your mind. The thoughts you carry are far more powerful than the opinions of anyone around you. Every decision, every action, every movement is shaped by how you perceive yourself first. If your inner voice doubts you, hesitates, or worries constantly, that uncertainty will appear in the way you move, the way you speak, and the way you act. To be dangerously confident, you must first take control of the thoughts you allow to exist in your mind. You must stop letting fear, hesitation, and the opinions of others dictate your next step. When you wake up each morning, confront yourself. Decide what you will do, what you will not allow, and how you will carry yourself regardless of what anyone else says. Every thought you feed yourself has a direct effect on your presence. If you believe you are capable, people will feel that energy. If you are unsure, people will sense that too. Confidence is not about being louder than others. It is about the quiet certainty that you are prepared, that you are capable, and that you will act when necessary. Pay attention to how your inner dialogue responds to challenges. Does it immediately look for excuses, or does it start calculating solutions? Does it crumble under criticism, or does it focus on what you can control? This internal discipline is where real power begins. You will encounter moments when others will try to shake you, test you, or belittle your efforts. In those moments, the inner voice will either betray you or defend you. When you have mastered it, you will remain calm, deliberate, and unwavering. You will not react impulsively to criticism or approval. You will measure, assess, and act only according to your objectives. This ability to separate emotion from action builds a confidence that is not dependent on circumstance. You will walk into rooms knowing your worth, even when others cannot see it. Dangerous confidence comes from understanding that the inner mind is the only place where true certainty can be cultivated. The world will never be entirely predictable, and people will often act irrationally. If you are dependent on them for validation or permission, your confidence will always be fragile. You must nurture a mindset that relies solely on your preparation, your skills, and your judgment. When doubt arises, confront it directly, examine why it exists and whether it has any real basis. Most doubts are created by habit, by insecurity, or by the noise of other people's opinions. Remove that noise. Silence it. Replace it with clarity, focus, and a constant reminder that you are capable of handling whatever challenges appear before you. Mastering your inner dialogue also means controlling the stories you tell yourself. You will notice that your mind will try to replay past failures, magnify insecurities, or imagine impossible outcomes. Recognize these thoughts for what they are, distractions that weaken your control over the present moment. Refuse to feed them. Instead, focus on what you can do right now. Focus on what action is required and do not allow imagination to sabotage your confidence. The more disciplined you are internally, the less likely you will be swayed externally. Take time every day to consciously redirect your thoughts. Start with simple self-assessments. Identify what fears or doubts are influencing your actions and consciously choose to discard them. Replace them with statements of capability and certainty. Train yourself to approach challenges with a mindset that sees opportunity, not limitation. This is not about positive thinking alone. This is about absolute self-trust based on preparation, awareness, and deliberate decision-making. Every action you take becomes an extension of this inner certainty. When others observe you, they will not see the effort, the preparation, or the internal dialogue that maintains your composure. They will only perceive. That is why mastering your inner dialogue is more powerful than any speech, any gesture, or any display of force. The quiet, unwavering belief in yourself will naturally create a presence that demands attention, respect, and influence. People are drawn to certainty, to to decisiveness, and to calm authority. That certainty begins with you controlling the voice in your own head. Be relentless in this practice. Even when external circumstances are chaotic, maintain inner clarity. Even when criticism is loud, remain undisturbed. Even when fear rises, remain anchored in preparation and certainty. The person who has mastered their inner dialogue becomes untouchable in their confidence because it is self-sustained. Dangerous confidence is not a mask or a performance, it is a reflection of internal mastery. You will act without hesitation, speak without doubt, and carry yourself with authority because you are grounded in the knowledge that your mind is aligned with your purpose and your actions. You will find that this internal mastery transforms every aspect of your life. Your decisions become sharper, your presence more commanding, and your ability to influence others grows naturally. People will not just notice your confidence, they will respond to it. They will align themselves with your energy because it signals competence, focus, and control. When your inner dialogue is disciplined, you no longer seek permission or approval from others. You move in the world with certainty because you know that you are prepared, capable, and unshakable. To reach dangerous levels of confidence, commit to this internal mastery every day. Observe your thoughts, direct them with purpose, eliminate the unnecessary noise, and anchor yourself in self-trust. This is the foundation from which all other forms of power and influence emerge. Without it, confidence is superficial, fragile, and fleeting. With it, you become a force that others cannot ignore, cannot manipulate, and cannot easily challenge. Control your mind, and you control everything. Confidence is not given by others. It is built by action, and action must come before permission, recognition, or applause. Too many people wait for someone else to validate their worth before they take steps forward, and that is the exact weakness that allows others to control them. You cannot allow the fear of judgment to dictate your pace. Dangerous confidence is built by moving first, deciding first, and acting decisively while others are still hesitant. Every second you spend waiting for approval is a second wasted, a second in which someone else gains the advantage you could have claimed. When you act before seeking approval, you develop authority naturally. Authority is not a title, it is a presence born from decisive action. People respond to those who move, who initiate, and who demonstrate capability before anyone else has even voiced an opinion. This is how influence grows. When you wait for recognition, you give away control. You place your value in the hands of others, allowing their perception to shape your trajectory. That is a vulnerability that must be removed if you want to be dangerous in your confidence. Every choice you make should stem from what you know is right or necessary, not from what others will think. Taking action first also teaches you lessons that approval cannot. Waiting for permission often delays your growth. When you act, you learn in real time. You discover the limits of your skills, the obstacles in your path, and the strategies that truly work. Failure becomes a teacher rather than a judgment. Those who act before seeking approval understand this deeply. They know that every step, even miscalculated ones, builds experience, resilience, and self-reliance. By contrast, those who wait remain stagnant, trapped in analysis, and dependent on external signals for direction. Dangerous confidence grows when action is paired with responsibility. When you act first, you take ownership of outcomes. You cannot blame hesitation, fear, or indecision on anyone else. Every success and every failure is yours alone, and that ownership strengthens the mind and the presence. People notice when someone is willing to take responsibility for their moves rather than waiting for guidance. This is the subtle force that compels respect, loyalty, and attention. When you act before seeking approval, You become someone whose decisions carry weight simply because you have demonstrated courage and capability. It is critical to recognize that acting before seeking approval does not mean reckless action. Recklessness is visible and invites failure without learning. Action before approval is deliberate, grounded in preparation, observation, and understanding. You assess the situation, consider the risks, and then move confidently knowing that even if you fail, you gain knowledge, experience, and a position of control. People who act without preparation may seem bold, but they are easily shaken and manipulated. Confidence that is dangerous is calculated and intentional. Waiting for approval also diminishes your presence. People instinctively follow those who lead, even subtly. If you hesitate, you signal uncertainty, and others are quick to fill the void. By acting first, you occupy the space of initiative. You set the pace, define expectations, and influence the direction of events. Others naturally look to you because you have already demonstrated decisiveness. This is the essence of influence: being ahead, being prepared, and moving before anyone else does. The moment you pause for validation, that influence weakens. When you act before seeking approval, your confidence becomes self-reinforcing. Every completed task, every initiative taken, every challenge met builds evidence for yourself that you are capable. You no longer need external voices to tell you that you are enough. Your track record speaks for you. People feel it. They recognize it in your posture, your tone, your decisiveness. You are no longer performing for approval. You are performing because action itself defines your value. This is the difference between confidence that is dangerous and confidence that is dependent. One originates from within and grows stronger with every move. The other relies on others and falters at the first hint of criticism. This principle also trains your resilience. Acting first exposes you to resistance, opposition, and scrutiny. If you are prepared to move without waiting for applause, you will naturally develop the mental toughness to withstand criticism, manipulation, and conflict. You begin to see challenges not as obstacles to approval, but as opportunities to assert your competence and strengthen your presence. Every pushback becomes data, every critique becomes fuel, and every challenge becomes a chance to reinforce your confidence. Those who wait for approval miss these lessons and remain vulnerable to doubt and indecision. In practical terms, acting before seeking approval requires a mindset shift. You must view action as the primary driver of progress. Your internal dialogue should constantly reinforce that waiting for permission is optional, not necessary. You must commit to making decisions, initiating steps, and pursuing opportunities based on your judgment alone. This does not mean ignoring feedback. It means placing the first step in your own hands rather than relying on someone else to give you permission. Your authority comes from motion, not consent. Dangerous confidence also grows from the perception you create. When others see you moving forward while they hesitate, it demonstrates competence, courage, and initiative. They cannot help but be influenced by your decisiveness. You are no longer reactive to their opinions. You are proactive in defining reality. This is the power that those who act before seeking approval command. It is subtle, unspoken, and undeniably magnetic. People do not always articulate why they follow or respect someone, but they respond instinctively to action that leads. Finally, acting before seeking approval transforms your life into a cycle of growth and reinforcement. Each move builds skill, each decision enhances judgment, and each success, no matter how small, strengthens your confidence. You become less concerned with what others think because you have a body of evidence proving your capability. Dangerous confidence is cumulative, built over time by consistent, intentional action. The person who acts first gains knowledge, influence, and self-assurance that no amount of approval can replicate. When you embrace this principle, hesitation, fear, and reliance on others' validation begin to fade. You move through the world with certainty, making decisions that align with your purpose. You take responsibility for outcomes and grow stronger with every challenge. People respect this, they follow it, they recognize it. This is the true essence of dangerous confidence. It is not given, it is earned through decisive action, and it cannot be shaken by external opinion because it is grounded in your ability to move before anyone else does. Confidence becomes dangerous when it is paired with an understanding of risk. Blind courage leads to mistakes, hesitation erodes opportunity, but calculated risk builds power, influence, and authority. To be dangerously confident, you must learn to evaluate every situation with clarity, assessing potential outcomes, and then take action knowing you have done the work to minimize avoidable failure. This is not about reckless boldness or ignoring danger. It is about recognizing that every moment in life carries uncertainty, and mastery comes from navigating that uncertainty better than anyone else. Most people avoid risk because they fear loss or embarrassment. They hesitate, overthink, and wait for conditions that will never arrive. They want certainty in a world that offers none. Dangerous confidence ignores this illusion of certainty. It acknowledges reality as it is, not as we wish it to be. Every decision carries a cost, but action without risk is a trap. Staying in comfort may feel safe, but it leaves you vulnerable to stagnation, irrelevance, and the influence of others. Confidence that commands respect embraces calculated risk as a necessary step toward growth and control. To embrace risk with calculation, you must first understand yourself and your abilities. You need to know what you can do, where your strengths lie, and where your weaknesses may be exposed. Confidence is amplified when you act within the sphere of your competence, stretching it gradually but purposefully. Each risk you take should extend your capacity without overwhelming it. The person who miscalculates repeatedly reveals their inexperience. The one who evaluates and acts builds a reputation for skill and presence. Dangerous confidence relies on this balance between ambition and prudence. Risk also demands awareness of the environment. You must observe, study, and understand the dynamics around you. Every person, every organization, every system has rules, tendencies, and pressures. To act confidently, you must anticipate reactions, predict consequences, and prepare responses. This foresight is what separates random audacity from calculated authority. Acting recklessly invites resistance, chaos, and failure. Acting with insight and preparation commands respect, influences outcomes, and builds a presence that others cannot ignore. Confidence thrives in the intersection of knowledge and action. Taking calculated risks also means embracing the potential for failure without being consumed by it. Dangerous confidence does not rely on the absence of mistakes, it thrives despite them. Each risk is an experiment, a chance to test your judgment, refine your approach, and strengthen your resolve. Those who fear failure remain paralyzed, missing opportunity after opportunity. Those who embrace risk with calculation turn setbacks into lessons and mistakes into proof of resilience. Confidence is not a shield from danger, it is a force that grows stronger when danger is confronted intelligently. The emotional component is critical. Confidence that falters under pressure is not true confidence. When taking calculated risks, you must manage fear, doubt, and second-guessing. Awareness of risk is not the same as hesitation. Recognizing potential obstacles while committing fully to action is the hallmark of dangerous confidence. People feel this energy. They sense a mind that evaluates, decides, and executes with clarity. This mental control communicates strength without arrogance, presence without aggression, and competence without needing permission. Calculated risk also amplifies your reputation. When others see you stepping forward into challenging circumstances with skill and purpose, they are drawn to your confidence. You create a perception of capability that is difficult to challenge. This perception is reinforced each time your calculated risks yield results, and even when some fail, the consistency of deliberate action. People respect those who act decisively in uncertainty because most retreat when faced with ambiguity. Dangerous confidence thrives where hesitation is common, creating space for leadership, influence, and authority. Strategically, embracing risk allows you to take advantage of opportunities that others cannot see or refuse to pursue. Most people evaluate life by the lowest common denominator: safety, comfort, and approval. Dangerous confidence recognizes that influence, power, and growth exist where others are unwilling to go. Each calculated risk positions you ahead of the competition. Every step that others avoid because of fear or doubt becomes a position of leverage. Confidence in these moments is contagious, inspiring action and recognition from those around you. Part of calculated risk is knowing the boundaries of engagement. Not all risks are worth taking, and not all challenges serve your goals. Dangerous confidence includes discernment, the ability to choose battles, opportunities, and initiatives that offer high reward relative to the exposure. This selectivity. People are drawn to those who appear fearless, but true dangerous confidence comes from measured fearlessness. You act not because danger does not exist, but because you understand it, manage it, and move deliberately despite it. Over time, embracing risk with calculation trains your intuition. You begin to recognize patterns, anticipate outcomes, and react with precision. Confidence becomes instinctive, not reactive. Your presence communicates certainty because your mind has repeatedly proven its ability to evaluate, decide, and act effectively under uncertainty. Others sense this competence. They trust your judgment, defer to your initiative, and acknowledge your authority. Confidence rooted in experience with risk is difficult to challenge because it is earned, tested, and proven. Finally, calculated risk develops independence. Those who wait for permission, consensus, or perfect conditions are at the mercy of circumstance. Those who embrace risk with calculation create their own conditions, shape outcomes, and control influence. Dangerous confidence comes from knowing that your decisions drive your life and your power, not external approval or chance. You are capable of taking action in ambiguity, adjusting course as necessary, and thriving where others hesitate. This independence is magnetic, inspiring loyalty, respect, and influence. To practice this principle, start small and scale strategically. Evaluate choices with a clear understanding of potential outcomes. Prepare for obstacles. Act decisively once the analysis is complete. Observe results, learn, and refine. Over time, this pattern builds a foundation of competence, resilience, and presence that others perceive as confidence. Dangerous confidence is not random. It is methodical, disciplined, and grounded in repeated evidence of capability under uncertainty. Confidence becomes dangerous not when you act blindly, but when you embrace risk intelligently. You develop courage, presence, influence, and authority by moving decisively where others hesitate. You learn from failure, capitalize on opportunity, and communicate strength through action. Risk, when calculated, becomes the engine of growth, a tool for power, and a force that amplifies presence. Those who master this principle act first, act smart, and act decisively, creating a reputation and aura that is impossible to ignore. When you combine this principle with mastery of your inner dialogue and acting before seeking approval, you step into a state of confidence that is self-reinforcing, respected by others, and resilient under pressure. You do not need external validation because your actions, prepared and executed with understanding, generate results that speak louder than. This is the essence of dangerous confidence. It is bold, deliberate, and unstoppable because it is rooted in knowledge, preparation, and action. Confidence becomes undeniable when you control your presence. How you move, how you speak, and how you hold yourself communicates far more than words ever can. Presence is not about drawing attention for the sake of attention. It is about projecting authority, focus, and control in every environment. People sense energy, intention, and competence. When you master your presence, you influence how others perceive you before you even speak. This control becomes a silent force that commands respect, opens doors, and creates influence without needing permission or explanation. Every interaction, every room you enter, and every group you join carries information about you. People are constantly observing, consciously and unconsciously, how you respond, how you act, and what you allow. By controlling your presence, you decide what they see and feel. You communicate competence without arrogance, calm without disengagement, and strength without aggression. Presence is a tool to shape perception, to command attention strategically, and to establish an aura of authority that others instinctively respect. To control your presence, begin by mastering your body language. Stand tall, move with intention, and avoid fidgeting. People are wired to detect insecurity in posture, gestures, and eye contact. The way you hold yourself sends signals of confidence before a single word is spoken. Small adjustments, holding your head high, keeping your shoulders square, maintaining steady eye contact, create a sense of stability and reliability. Presence is built on consistency, not perfection. Every confident gesture reinforces your authority and signals control. Voice and tone are equally critical. Speak clearly, slowly, and with purpose. A controlled voice communicates thoughtfulness and mastery. People are drawn to those who speak decisively, who pause at the right moment, and who avoid unnecessary filler. Your voice becomes a tool to command attention and signal that your words carry weight. When you control your presence in speech, you shape how ideas are received, how suggestions are evaluated, and how influence is granted. Confidence in your voice becomes. Presence also demands how you react in high-pressure situations. Unexpected challenges or confrontations determines how others perceive your authority. Dangerous confidence is calm under scrutiny, measured when provoked, and steady when faced with chaos. People are drawn to stability and clarity. They follow those who respond rather than react. Controlling your presence means controlling your internal state so that your external behavior remains deliberate, composed, and commanding. Observation is another element. Controlling presence is not just about projecting, it is about reading the room and adjusting strategically. Recognize the dynamics, understand the energy, and adapt without losing your essence. The person who controls presence knows when to step forward, when to step back, and when to let others fill the space. Awareness allows you to position yourself in ways that maximize influence while maintaining authority. Presence is active, not passive. It is an ongoing practice of understanding and strategic adjustment. Preparation enhances presence. Those who arrive ready, informed, and composed naturally command more attention than those caught off guard. Knowledge builds confidence, and confidence builds presence. When you understand the environment, the people, and the context, your behavior is intentional rather than reactive. Preparation also allows you to project authority even in unfamiliar situations. Others sense competence when your actions align with purpose, and presence is inseparable from visible preparedness. Silence